mixing, fixing for another big game. It's the coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to square off against our home team. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the London Black Knights. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He finds an opening past the 40, the 40, the 30. 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because
personal foul.
Nowadays, we talk to all the coaches. They don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs? This one was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a handoff looking right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. He can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Right back to him on 1st down. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it's London football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's caught. Touchdown. Will Tye, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's complete to Meredith. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a give to Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The play fake. He'll look to throw. And he's got it to Hearns. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Allen Hearns, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun.
Looking to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he's taken down inside the 30. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, Dorsett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Leopard! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's a touchdown! Their mobile, agile quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to take the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
And Eifert has it. 23 yards on the play.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll set up to throw. Now loose football. The ball comes out. It's going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup at 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
All right, here we go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They'll set up a throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Back to throw. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
3-19! 3-19! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Over!
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Hayden Hurst, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And fights him off. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again. Geno Atkins. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Carl Lawson in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
He'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Gone!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going for the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
4 down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't,
All right, now, lucky
you saw the
56.
end result.
Lucky
Defensive tackle
56.
ended up making the play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darquez Denard. Fighting through. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
On play action, they'll throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends. They're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The veteran safety, George Iloka, there to break that one up. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
My man's going to loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go.
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4.
Here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a 1st down?
Well, that's the deal. On 3rd down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable 3rd down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. And Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A very solid gain of 27. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Sean Williams that time in on the stop. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Alex Collins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down,
Caused all of that.
it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Set. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop the throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense ready to head back out there. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance. Where they took control of this game. How they've managed to keep control of this game. And then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Green 39.
Escapes the sack. Great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They run with Collins. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games. And
able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.